The world is on fire. Events are following quickly from the moment Russia entered the Ukrainian territory, and what happened 24 hours ago suggests a new frightening possibility. The conflict between Russia and America has moved to space, and this was stated by the Russian space agent, as Russia threatened to bring down the International Space Station on American territory. Dmitry Rogozin, the head of the Russian Space Agency, went out into the world and made very reckless statements on his official Twitter account. He said that the US sanctions that it intends to launch against Russia will cause more massive disasters, including the fall of the International Space Station, or its deorbiting in space. The International Space Station is a station that swims in space in orbit around the Earth, and is managed by many of the great countries in the world, and it performs planetary exploration missions and other things. But what many do not know is that the International Space Station is planned to be retired after a year or two. It will be dropped from orbit in a remote location in the Pacific Ocean, where it is far from crowded and populated places. In his statements, especially on Twitter, Rogozin said, in a direct threat to America, "You dared to impose sanctions on our space program. What will happen, and who will help or save you when the International Space Station falls out of its orbit out of control, and falls on the territory of the United States of America?" You may not imagine the seriousness of this matter. Just imagine the fall of something huge like the International Space Station, which weighs about 500 tons, at an insane speed that may reach tens of thousands of kilometers per hour. It may bring ruin to an entire city, as the burning of the International Space Station is impossible due to its huge size and how close its orbit is to Earth. The statements of the head of Russian space research came several hours after the statements of US President Joe Biden, who promised him a huge number of economic sanctions to help NATO countries against Russia, which would isolate Russia economically from the rest of the world. And its space program has stopped completely, as the space program in the modern era depends largely on cooperation between countries and not competition. Political analysts have said that Rogozin's comments are very dangerous, as the management of the Russian space program has always been characterized by blunders and recklessness. Last October, there was a Russian Soyuz capsule landing at the International Space Station, which, due to a technical error, almost caused the entire station to go out of orbit when its propulsion jets operated without warning. And also recently, Russia struck one of its satellites with a missile, which caused the formation of a deadly cloud of space fragments, which caused a threat to the technological infrastructure of the countries of the whole world. The question is, has the war really spread beyond the borders of the planet and leads to the risk of losing technology in the whole world? Space belongs to everyone with different races and countries. If war happened, the danger would be for all countries in the world, not for one country.